So Dr. Heshner, how did you get into communications?
I actually got into communications back in college. I was a biochem major for 3 years. I wasn't really happy with what I was doing, and one of the requirements for all schools is that you have to go through public speaking. People's number one fear is public speaking, and I went in and I fell in love with it. And so I spoke to my professor, who happened to end up being my advisor. She got me through undergrad. I switched majors, and I haven't been happier. Just loved it. Once I got into the grad student program, it just took off from there.
That is absolutely fascinating. What kind of degrees are there in the communication study field?
Communication is an art and a science, so you can take your pick. It's more that there are specialties underlying. There are things like if you're into interpersonal, if you're into qualitative research, quantitative research, rhetoric, counseling, social work. We also do things with businesses, PR, organizational, group and team, interpersonal, non-verbal, and if you just like speaking in front of people, you can do that too. So there's a lot, it's a very broad thing you can go into.
Could you explain a couple of those, like the qualitative and qualitative ones?
Simply put, qualitative focuses on the quality of individuals. It's more things like documentaries, ethnographies, reports where somebody would go in and they would observe like different cultures or different groups of people, find things out, and then report out there. The numbers don't really matter, whereas you go into quantitative, it's more things like working with organizations, crunching numbers, working for businesses. You go in, you find out you have this many employees, this is a problem with your communication, this is how we fix it, and it's focused purely on numbers and less about the human subjects.
Oh, wow. So would you suggest this as a field for anyone to go into? Or
Absolutely. If anything sounds interesting, to definitely go into it, or at least look into it. I know that undergrads are required to take interpersonal, and I'm pretty sure you're still required to take public speaking, at least when I went through. And that gives people a chance to see it, and sometimes when you come to college you're not entirely sure what you want to do.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, I wasn't. And it's just, if any of this sounds interesting, I suggest people look into it, because it's a very, very broad field, and it's very fun, and it's also a very young field comparatively to things like mathematics and sciences, because math's been around for how long? But people took communication for granted as a field to study because they just assume since I'm talking to people every day, I must be doing it right. Incorrect on that part.
Do you know what kind of jobs you can get with communication?
It depends on your specialization and what you like doing. I know that PR kids come to us, advertising kids. We have people go into the business sector. You can specialize in health communications. You can counsel, do social work. You can talk. You can just talk if you want.
You're a public speaker.
Yeah, you can entertain. Entertainment is a big thing. We get a lot of music kids who come over who want to get over stage fright.
Oh.
And it's whatever you make it. It's whatever you're interested in, because there is no industry or field on this planet that doesn't rely on communication. You will either be communicating with people in other fields or people within your field, and that's where we give you the leg up.
That's